Hello year 7, this is Mr. Han. Today we're going to talk about the fifth topic in term 3. According to the syllabus plan, unit number 4, variation and classification, the sixth topic in it, classifying invertebrates. So our lesson objectives today are number 1, to explore 3 groups of invertebrates. Number 2, to identify the characteristics of each group. The keywords are mollusks, annelids, and arthropods. In the previous topic, we talked about the animal kingdom and we said it is divided into 2 main groups, which are vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with backbone or spine, and it is classified into 5 classes, which are amphibians, mammals, birds, reptiles, and fish. Today we are going to talk about the invertebrates, which are animals without backbone or spine. And as you can see, it is divided into 2 many groups. But today we are going to explore only 3 groups of the invertebrates. What are these groups? Number 1, mollusks. Number 2, annelids. Number 3, arthropods. Let's have a look on mollusks. As you can see here, mollusks group includes snail, slug, octopus, right? So it has some characteristics. What are these characteristics? Number 1, they are animals with a soft body. Number 2, they have a muscular foot which they use to move around. Number 3, some mollusks have shells. Like the snail here, it has a shell. The second group, annelids. Annelids group includes worms, like the earthworm. And also it has some characteristics. Number 1, they don't have legs, but they do have tiny bristles called cheche. Number 2, they are worms with bodies divided up into rings or segments. Like the earthworm here, it has a segmented body. Number 3, arthropods. Arthropods group, as you can see, it has a lot of invertebrates, like butterflies, bees, flies, crabs, scorpions, spiders. So it has too many invertebrates. But all these invertebrates, they have 3 main characteristics. Number 1, they are invertebrates with jointed legs. Number 2, their bodies are divided up into segments. Number 3, they have a skeleton on the outside of their bodies called an exoskeleton. Arthropods are the most common kind of animals on Earth. There are several different groups of arthropods, and we are going to take 4 of them today. So this means arthropods group is divided into 4 groups, which are insects, arachnids, crustaceans, and myriapods. Let's have a look on insects. Insects are arthropods with 6 jointed legs. This means it has 3 jointed legs on each side. Number 2, their bodies are divided into 3 parts, which are head, thorax, and abdomen. Each of these parts are made up of several segments. Most of them have 2 pairs of wings attached to their thorax. Number 4, their legs also are attached to their thorax. Number 5, they have 1 pair of antennae on their head. The second group of arthropods is arachnids. Arachnids are arthropods with 8 jointed legs. This means they have 4 jointed legs on each side. Number 2, they don't have wings or antennae. For example, spiders and scorpions. The third group of arthropods is crustaceans. Crustaceans, they have more than 4 pairs of jointed legs. So this means on each side you will find more than 4 jointed legs. They are arthropods with an especially tough exoskeleton. This means if you find any animal with exoskeleton, it will be classified as crustaceans. For example, lobsters, water fleas, and wood lice. The fourth and the last group of arthropods is myriapods. Myriapods have many pairs of jointed legs, which is more than 4 or more than 6. You will find them too many legs on each side. Number 2, we have one pair of antennae. For example, millipedes and centipedes. As we can see here in this diagram, this is a diagram which describes the centipede, which has many pairs of jointed legs, and also it has one pair of antennae.
Hi friends! Welcome to a new happy learning video. Today we are going to learn about the invertebrate animals. You all know that the animals are divided into two big groups. The vertebrates that have an internal skeleton formed by bones, and the invertebrates that have no bones. All the invertebrates are oviparous, and we classify them in 6 big groups: sponges, jellyfish, corals, worms, mollusks, echinoderms, and arthropods. The sponges are aquatic animals that are sac-shaped, and the body is full of pores. It is very easy to remember this group because many times we use them in the shower for our personal hygiene. Yes, many of the sponges we use in the shower are invertebrate animals. The jellyfish are invertebrate animals that live in the ocean. Their bodies are gelatinous and have tentacles. The truth is that when they appear in the beach, it is very annoying because their tentacles have small venomous stingers that produce very unpleasant bites. Corals are tiny marine animals that produce limestone residue, which give rise to beautiful shapes. Do you know this animal? Exactly, it's a worm. Worms are soft and long invertebrate animals that move by dragging their body in the ground because they have no feet. They can be aquatic or terrestrial. There are some worms that can be harmful, and that is why we must be careful with them. Can you see this snail? Well, snails form part of the mollusk group. Mollusks have a soft body without legs and can also be aquatic or terrestrial. Some, like the snail, this clam, and mussels, protect the body with shells. But there are other mollusks that don't have a shell to protect themselves, like slugs or octopuses. The echinoderms are exclusively aquatic animals. Their bodies have calcareous plates that form a shell. Some echinoderms are balloon-shaped and are covered in spikes that they use to defend themselves, like sea urchins. Others are star-shaped and are of course called starfish. The arthropods are the most abundant animals on the earth. Of every 100 animals that exist, 80 are arthropods. These invertebrate animals have the body covered by an external skeleton called a cuticle. The most common way to classify the arthropods is by the number of legs they have. This way, we can classify them in 4 big groups. Arthropods with 6 legs. In this group, insects like ants and flies are present. Arthropods with 8 legs, where for example the arachnids like spiders and scorpions are. Arthropods with 10 legs include the crustaceans like crabs and lobster. Arthropods with more than 10 legs like the centipede that, as you can see, has much more than 100 legs and are called myriapods. Well, now you know a bit more about the invertebrates. Bye friends!
It's activity time, but I want you, before you start the activity, I want you to pause the video, restart the video again, listen to the explanation one more time, and then start your activity. Why? Because it has challenging questions. Okay, in this activity you need to classify these invertebrates and put them into their groups. But it will not be easy, you know why? Because you need to look at their features, you need to look at their number of legs, you need to look at their bodies, if it has segments or not, you need to look at the antennae, you need to look at the body if it has 3 parts or not. So there are too many things. Okay? Are you ready? Okay, you have 2 minutes. Okay guys, the time is over. Let's have a look on the invertebrates. The first invertebrate here, it has exoskeleton, which is the first thing that I have noticed. Number 2, it has 5 jointed legs on each side and it has antennae. So it is classified as crustaceans. The second invertebrate here, it has more than 8 jointed legs on each side. So this means that there are too many jointed legs on each side. Also, it has antennae and it has a segmented body. So it is classified as myriapods. Third invertebrate here, it is like a worm, right? And it has segmented body. There are no legs and no antennae, so it is classified as annelids. For the fourth invertebrate here, we can see muscular foot, right? And also it is unsegmented body, so it is classified as mollusks. The fifth invertebrate here, it has 3 legs on each side. This means it has 6 jointed legs. Also, it has wings, it has 1 pair of antennae, and its body is divided into 3 parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. So it is classified as insects. The sixth invertebrate here, it has 3 legs on each side also. This means it has 6 jointed legs. It has 1 pair of antennae, and its body is divided into 3 parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. So it is classified as insects also. The seventh invertebrate here, it has 4 jointed legs on each side. This means it has 8 jointed legs. There are no wings, no antennae, so it is classified as arachnids. In today's lesson, we talked about invertebrates, which are animals without backbone or spine. And this invertebrates is divided into 3 groups, which are mollusks, annelids, and arthropods. Arthropods is the biggest group here, which is divided into 4 groups, which are insects, arachnids, crustaceans, and myriapods. Now we reached to the end of our lesson. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Stay safe. See you next time.